Hey everybody, it's Kisa, Coach K. Hope you are doing well today. Hey, I wanted to produce a special series for you because I've just seen this word, I've seen these circumstances so much in my practice of life coaching. And so I just thought it's time to really have a conversation about it, a meaty conversation about it. And as you can see that the banner says right here, you could be dating a narcissist. That's our special series that we have going right now. So, who am I? Briefly, I am Kisa Sharp. I am a life coach in this particular juncture of my life. You want to learn more about me and what I can offer? KisaSharp.com/life coaching. I have life coaching tips, and I also have a media training arm as well. I am a 30-year vested media professional, corporate PR, broadcast news, and also newspaper and column writing. So I am the consummate communications professional and just using life experiences right now in order to help you navigate change and have good relationships. So today we're going to talk a little bit about now you could be dating a narcissist. If you went back and checked out the first video, I talked about one of the first phases of this, or one of the first things that you will see, which is part of the idealization phase. I mean, they all kind of worded a little differently, but you'll see similar things. But as part of that first stage, you're going to see one major hallmark of that, and that is called love bombing. Check out the first video. I go into detail, give some examples. But today, we're going to move on to the second phase of this, of you could be dating a narcissist. And what would that look like? Well, that phase, ladies and gentlemen, is what's known as, drum roll please. And I want you to understand, as part of this phase, again, maybe worded a little bit different, but you're going to see some similar things. So that second phase,
Devaluation.
did you hear that? Here's what it looks like on the screen. Let me hit it again.
Devaluation.
Okay, devaluation. And here's what it looks like. Part two of you could be dating a narcissist. Let me go ahead and put it on the big screen here. You like my big screen? I'm actually at Creed 63, which is located in downtown Birmingham in the historic district, which is really part of the name, and it gives a nod to the historic district here, Creed 63, the amazing events of 1963 and the civil rights movement. So let me just go ahead and slide my board on around here so you can see it a little bit better. That's much, much better. Just the camera here, just up to. I'm very flexible. I'm in this co-working space, so you may even see me speak to someone and all that kind of stuff as we kind of move here. We share space. But by the way, I'm giving a shout out to them because for those of you who are entrepreneurs and need co-working space, Creed 63, which is conveniently located in downtown Birmingham. So you could be dating a narcissist. So the second phase, devaluation. But what does that look like? Seriously, I always like to support whatever I say with facts and figures. So I'm not going to just stand here and just talk out of the side of my arm. So let's talk. What does it look like? I want to give a credit here to Very Well Mind online for providing some key indicators as part of this. But here we go. Devaluation stage. Are you able to see that? Yep, you are. So this is shout out to Very Well Mind. But this is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. And let's talk through. The second stage in you could be dating a narcissist is devaluation. And it's also synonymous with depreciation, okay? And what happens, I'm going to read what they say here. The narcissist will start dropping subtle hints that you've done something wrong, you've forgotten something important, or that you've hurt their feelings, or you'll feel insecure. But think about it. If you think about devaluation, it's really not hard to figure out. I'm going back to my definition that I have online here because I thought this was really, really good. I want to make sure that you can see it. And if not, I'm going to make sure to tell you. But devaluation here, but I'm going to actually show you what is devaluation. Devaluation is, can you see that? I'm going to just kind of stand out of the way. You probably can't see it that great. You know, I like playing with toys and gadgets. That's why I do this, because I think it makes it so much better than me just standing up here. So let me read it to you. Devaluation, as you can understand, value D, devaluation. And notice my hand, devaluation, to make you feel or look less valuable. Many ways to do that too. Okay, many ways to do that. It's the reduction or underestimation, when we talk about devaluation, of the worth or importance of something or someone. Let me say that again. What is devaluation? You could be dating a narcissist if this is something that you are dealing with. The reduction or underestimation of the worth or importance of something or someone. All right, let's get to it. What does this stage look like in practicality? How would you know? What are some of the things that you will see? Some activities of the devaluation stage include passive aggressiveness. Have you ever dealt with someone who's passive aggressive? It is mind-boggling to deal with someone who is passive aggressive. A passive aggressive person, and Kisa, how do you know this? Well, I come by way. Sometimes they say this in the church, and I'm not being facetious. I'm just, this is a cute example to me, but I come by way of experience and I come by way of knowledge. Okay. So when you combine those two, and also for me being a coach, I'm talking to people all the time who are dealing with these things. And how do I know about it? So that's number one. Number two, I personally have dealt with some of these things because most of us have dealt with people who exhibit some of these characteristics, okay? If a person devalues you, does it make them a narcissist? No. But is it a possibility that you could be dating a narcissist? Yes, it is possible. And let me issue this sort of caveat right here. I'm really focusing this video. Anyone can be blessed by this, regardless of whether you're dating, engaged, or married, okay? Dating, engaged, or married. But really, my target is for those of you who are dating, because you have an opportunity to not progress if you're seeing some unfavorable things. You have an opportunity to make a change, put the brakes on, pause, or go a different direction rather than getting into something that's going to be for your harm later on. Moving forward, indicators of devaluation in you could be dating a narcissist. Passive aggressiveness. A passive aggressive person is a person who is not very comfortable with communicating their thoughts, feelings, or desires. So some hallmarks of passive aggressiveness is a person who you ask them, honey, can you take out the trash for me? They will look at you and say, yes, I'm glad to take out the trash for you. And then you come back 3 days later, a week later, 2 weeks later. This is an extreme example. The trash is still there. So a passive aggressive person will tell you one thing looking at you, but in their mind, they're thinking completely opposite. They're thinking, I'm not taking out the trash, but I'm going to tell you that. Why? Because they're not comfortable displaying signs of aggression or opposing you straight on, but they do things in a very subtle way that almost look to derail you. How do you know about this, Kisa? Well, I've had extensive knowledge and extensive experience in dealing with passive aggressive people, but don't take my word for it. Look it up. We're talking about the devaluation phase. Passive aggressiveness. What's another sign of passive aggressiveness? So just educating you a little bit and kind of expanding this out rather than doing, just a few seconds on a video and trying to fit it into 30 seconds or whatever, just expanding it out and just talking through it so you can understand what this looks like, because some of this is mind-boggling with some of the things that you have to deal with people who are not comfortable with communicating, who are not comfortable with confrontation. So you start seeing these habits and you're like, is it me? Do I have something going on? No. But another sign of passive aggressiveness is you're working with your partner, or you and your partner are talking, and you say, God, I would love to go to this fanciful restaurant. Let's go to this restaurant. Or I made reservations for us to go to this restaurant tonight. I want you to take me here. I want you. And then after that, I want to go shopping. Let's go shopping, honey. So They agree to it. The partner, your partner agrees to it. Your partner takes you out to eat at a very nice restaurant because you requested it. Your partner takes you shopping because you requested it. But what you start to notice is you start to notice either they pull away, you start to notice they're angry, you start to notice you don't see them or hear from them for a couple of days. You start to notice they are snappy, or they are doing some other things to throw sort of a kink in your relationship. And you're going, what in the world is going on? Your mind starts to recount. Well, the last thing I remember is we went out, we had a great time at that restaurant. Aha, aha, you had a great time. You desired to go to the restaurant. You desired to go shopping. But that person, the narcissist, they didn't desire that. The passive aggressive person, it wasn't their desire. They did it, but they did it almost begrudgingly. And so what happens is, in doing it, they're now angry with you because you even had the audacity to do it, but they weren't comfortable telling you no. They weren't comfortable, in the moment saying, I'm not comfortable with this. Can we do something else? Or I just didn't want to spend that much money, or I didn't have the budget arranged for that. They're not comfortable telling you in the moment. But what you see is you start seeing behavior that indicates you've done something wrong. Passive aggressive. I have done extensive study on it, and it is one of the most mind-boggling things that you will ever deal with. And it's a tactic that many adults learn in childhood because they are simply uncomfortable saying no, or uncomfortable in confronting. Moving on. What's another hallmark of devaluation and this phase in narcissism? Backhanded compliments. Oh gosh, you look great, considering you've gained some weight. You look great, considering you've put on a few pounds, or for someone who's put on a few pounds, you look great. What? Yeah. Ask me how I know about it, okay? Subtle criticism that goes in. Stonewalling. What's stonewalling? Not getting to the root of the question. You ever been in an argument with someone and they stonewall you, or you say, I need to talk to you. We're not going to talk about that right now. And they go to the bag. Okay, well, when can we talk about it? I don't want to talk about it right now. You want to address, okay, well, we need to talk about this budget. I don't want to talk about it right now. I've got something to do. Okay, well, when can we talk about it? I don't know. Stonewalling, just always putting up a wall, okay, as it relates to discussing or even dealing with you. Some mind games that seem harmless. You want to spend time with them. You walk in the door. I've seen this happen personally. You walk in the door, to coming to your love, and your love walks out the door as you walk in, after a long week. And you're thinking, well, we haven't seen each other. I'm thinking we can spend time. They're walking out the door. Mind games, okay? Name calling, lack of empathy and validation, lack of empathy and validation, never understanding what you deal with. In fact, someone told me I was dealing with a challenge in my work arena when I worked in corporate America, and I came and talked to this person, and they said, well, you're just going to have to deal with it. Just deal with it. But now when they had a challenge in their work arena, it was a whole different story. When I was dealing with something and came to them and wanted to chat with them, it was like, well, you just have to deal with it. You just got to put on your big girl pants. And I'm thinking, wow. So here's the dangerous thing about it all in the devaluation phase of you could be dating a narcissist. Devaluation is part of that second stage. And you want to know another hallmark of this stage as well? Gaslighting. Oh, let's talk about gaslighting. What is that, Kisa? Let me write it out. Gaslighting. Okay. As part of this phase, gaslighting. Perpetual lies. There's actually, and this phenomenon was actually named after a movie in which a gentleman, I've never seen the movie, but boy, I sure have seen the actions of this part right here. Basically, in which someone is going to argue with you or dispute your recollection of facts. You say, well, when we went to the restaurant, I specifically recall you yelled at me, over dinner when we had this whatever, and I wanted to bring this discussion back up. I wanted to talk to you and make sure everything was okay. You specifically yelled at me when I asked you about whatever. And the gaslighting, or the person who gaslights you, will say, yell at you? No, I didn't. I don't remember doing that. And you're going, you did do that. No, I didn't. I didn't do that. You're just not remembering, or you're just being overly sensitive again, or I don't know what you're talking about. I did not yell at you. Gaslighting, making you believe that what you remember or what you experienced doesn't count. You could be dating a narcissist if you're dealing with either of these items. I encourage you to go back to the first video, because another hallmark characteristic before you get here to this devaluation stage is love bombing. That's the first stage. And if you're in the midst of dealing or dating a narcissist, you're going to go through these stages. And the thing about it is, the scary thing is, you could enter in and out and in and out. It's a vicious cycle. And I wish I could tell you that this is just, hypothetical. I wish I could tell you that this is not going to happen. But, as you sort of see these things happen, it's true. When you are dating someone who either is a narcissist or has narcissistic tendencies. So sis, and even for my guys out there, bro, you're not crazy. You could be dating a narcissist. And I also recognize, as I get ready to wrap this video up, that for some of you, that could take on the form of a parent or an authority figure, okay? Leaders, a supervisor who is narcissistic in nature, siblings who are narcissistic in nature. Sometimes the root goes all the way through to family members. You're not crazy. It could be that you're dating a narcissist, and it could be that your family member is a narcissist. It could be that your friend is a narcissist. And unfortunately, unless you get a handle on it and confront it, you understand, it will progress. And I want to shine light on it, because I don't know if we really talk about it as much as we need to, and in intelligent terms or whatever. So does it mean that everyone who displays devaluation is a narcissist? No. Does it mean that everyone who exhibits gaslighting, distorting the truth, acting as if they don't remember things that they've done, or acting as if you're crazy or you're lying, does it mean that everyone who acts that way and who gaslights is a narcissist? No, it doesn't. I don't even proclaim to be a mental health professional who will define these terms, or who can spot it and say, that's what it is. I'm not a mental health professional, but this information is readily available. I am a certified life coach. And I have dealt with this personally, and I also have clients who have dealt with it. So listen, it's not a matter of coming for me and saying, oh, you don't know that, you really are not a mental health professional. No, but I didn't create these terms. And I do have a degree of intelligence to be able to say, if that's a duck, I'm also not a veterinarian, but I can look at an animal and say, if it walks, if it quacks, and if it looks like a duck, then it probably is a duck. If it walks on four legs and it's, a person is walking it and it has a bark, has, a little fluffy tail, little two ears, it might be a dog. It's probably a dog. And do I have to be a veterinarian to be able to say that? No. So, let's not go there. And here's the thing that I'm going to encourage you to do. I'm going to encourage you to do your research. Don't take my word. Do your research on this. KeishaSharp.com/life coaching. Our second installment of You Could Be Dating a Narcissist. We have a 4-part series. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. We have a couple of videos to go. So I encourage you to stay tuned. I encourage you to share the video. And if you're going to take exception with something that I say, don't hesitate to reach out. We can have an intelligent discussion around it, okay? But again, you could be dating a narcissist if you deal with someone who devalues you and who participates in gaslighting. Until next time, I'm Keisha Sharp, Coach K, KeishaSharp.com/life coaching for media training and life change strategies. I'll see you soon.